Both players appear well prepared for this tour attack classical defense Nimzovich variation in Subzonal 230 to Medellin 2025 Absoluto round 6, leading to an exciting battle ahead. On d4. Knight f6. Knight f3. On e6. Bishop g5 transposed into tour attack classical defense Nimzovich variation. On h6. Threatening pawn takes g5. Bishop h4 played by Abreu. On c5. On e3. On takes d4. On takes d4. Bishop e7. Knight bd2. On b6. Bishop takes f6. Bishop takes f6. On c3. Bishop b7. Bishop d3. On d6. Queen a4 check. Knight d7. Bishop a6. Threatening bishop takes b7. Queen c7 played by Cordoba Roa. Bishop takes b7, it is novelty move. Queen takes b7. King castled kingside. King castled kingside. Rook fe1. Rook a b8. Queen c2. On b5. Queen d3. Queen d5. Queen e4. Knight b6. Queen takes d5. Knight takes d5. On g3. Rook fc8. On a3. On a5. Rook e2. Knight b6. Rook c1. Bishop e7. Knight b3. Threatening knight takes a5. On b4 played by Cordoba Roa. Cordoba Roa is looking to play. On takes a3. Knight takes a5. Knight a4. On d5. On takes b2. Rook b1. Bishop f6. Knight c6. Rook b7, and take decisive advantage. Knight takes a5 played by Abreu. On takes a3, do not rush. Can you find the strongest move for Abreu? Rook a1 is best move here because on takes b2. Rook takes b2. Rook takes c3. King g2. Bishop d8. On d5 still Abreu is losing. Let's analyze the main game. On takes a3. On b4 is not the best move played by Abreu. Knight d5. Cordoba Roa wants to play. Knight takes c3. Rook ec2. Knight e2 check, and put immense pressure on the opponent. Rook ec2 played by Abreu. On a2. Cordoba Roa intends to play. Knight takes b4. On takes b4. Rook takes c2. Rook takes c2. On promotes to queen at a1 check, and secure a stronghold in the game. Knight b3 played by Abreu. Bishop g5. Threatening bishop takes c1. Knight takes g5 played by Abreu. On takes g5. Rook takes a2. Rook takes c3. Rook takes c3. Knight takes c3. Rook c2. Threatening rook takes c3. Knight a4 played by Cordoba Roa. Knight a5. Rook takes b4. Knight c6. Rook b1 check. King G2. Rook B7. Rook C4. Threatening rook takes A4. Knight B2 played by Cordoba Roa. Threatening knight takes C4. Rook B4 played by Abreu. Threatening rook takes B7. Rook takes B4 played by Cordoba Roa. Knight takes B4. On G4. On H3. On takes H3 check. King takes H3. On F6. On F4. King F7. King G4. Knight C4. King F3. On F5. On G4. On takes G4 check. King takes G4. King F6. Knight C6. Knight E3 check. King F3. Threatening king takes E3. Knight D5 played by Cordoba Roa. Cordoba Roa might go for King F5. Knight D8. Knight takes F4 and increase their advantage significantly. King E4 played by Abreu. Knight E7. Knight D8. On D5 check. Do not rush. Can you find the strongest move for Abreu? King F3 is a strong choice, since Knight G6. King G4. Knight E7. King F3. Knight G6. King G4. Still Abreu is losing. Let's analyze the main variation. On D5 check. King E3 slightly worse move played by Abreu. Knight F5 check. King D3. Knight H4. Cordoba Roa wants to play Knight G2. King E2. Knight takes F4 check and put immense pressure on the opponent. King E3 played by Abreu. King F5. Cordoba Roa is looking to play Knight G2 check. King F3. Knight takes F4 and dominate the board. Knight F7 played by Abreu. Knight G2 check. King F3. Knight takes F4. Knight D6 check. King G5. Knight E8. Knight H5. Cordoba Roa might go for on G6. Knight C7. Knight G7. King G3. Knight F5 check. King F2. Knight takes D4 and increase their advantage significantly. Knight D6 played by Abreu. On G6. Knight E8. King F5. Knight D6 check. King F6. Knight E8 check. King G5. Knight D6. Knight G7. Knight F7 check. King F6. Threatening king takes F7. Knight D6 played by Abreu. Knight F5. Threatening knight takes D6. Knight B5 played by Abreu. King G5. King E2. King F4. Cordoba Roa is looking to play King E4. King F2. Knight takes D4 and secure a stronghold in the game. King D3 played by Abreu. On G5. Knight C7. Knight G7. A masterful performance by Cordoba Roa.